Good morning, YouTube. It's Trader Rob. Today is Monday, February 9th. Brand new week, brand new opportunities. Let's get to it. All right, here's the couple seconds here for the open bell. All right, got our first reaction in band here at the 25098s to the 118s. Looks like the market wants to dump, I think, a little bit more. ES, we got a band at the 69.47 down to the 69.44 that I'll be interested in. And then we do have a signal here at the 6900s, targeting the 69.02 and the 69.05. Hope everybody had a great weekend. Kind of a boring Super Bowl. First three quarters were pretty pathetic. I got some action there in the, I would say, the middle of the third quarter, the fourth quarter, but it's kind of garbagey time at that point. Morning, Coach Cleats. Morning, Chum Sauce. Eugene, good morning. Carrie, good morning. Nordic, good morning. Joe, Rob, Michael, William, Keith, Rich, Steve, Joel, Joe. Good morning, everybody. Nasty opening 5-minute candle here. All right, let's see how the footprint behaves here at this reactionary band. I'd like to see it get towards the middle of this band to be interested. Right now, looks like the 45s to the 46s are somewhat defended. The 45s are defended a little bit stronger. Right around here. Morning, Anna. Gold's making a nice rip. Nothing really in gold, minus these levels I posted yesterday in my video. We got a level at the 4909.7, 4803.7, and the 4747.9. And then we'll keep looking at price action, see if there's any scalpable areas. Let's take a look at the NQ. That's kind of gross. Back on the ES. Strong move there. Nothing on the footprint yet. I closed with negative delta, so nothing for me to do there. Now we got somewhat of a flip. I'm going to see if it wants to maybe tap in a little bit stronger into that band. All right, now we're going through the 45s, which is good. A lot of positive delta here. Strong candle. Possible short here. Let's just see how it reacts here for a little bit. Still seeing negative delta there. All right, tap it into the 50s now. Let's take a look at the NQ. Nothing really to do here on the NQ right now. Oof, a lot of positive delta coming in here. That's definitely a move to the upside here. I doubt that they're going to trap that many. That's a huge delta bar right here. If you guys can't see it, it's about 1,100 contracts to the positive side. My guess would be that they run to the 157s easy. Nothing to do here yet. Let's see if we get some support here. The buyers come in strong here. -5. It's not the greatest bar. Not the greatest bar right there. It was only -5 delta. Wouldn't mind seeing a continuation push here though. Tricky little spot. Not a shit ton of delta there. It was just -5, so now that was kind of weak. I'm trying to see if some buying pressure comes in here, but I'm not seeing it. So this here would have been my long confirmation here to go long right here. I just did not really like the amount of delta compared to what I've been seeing on the chart. To me that probably might have been a missed trade there. Actually, so far, probably a good none. Let's see, that would have been at the 136s, and it got up to, yeah, it would have given me my, 30 points. Let's take a look at the ES. I think at this point I'm going to wait to see what happens if we can get up to this next band. To me, it makes the most sense. Missed out there on a 30-point winner. If I just would have kind of just stuck to my rules, this will probably show it a little bit cleaner. So here was the here was a green footprint candle, negative delta. That is my entry confirmation. Just didn't really like the amount of negative delta compared to what we were looking at previously. But that would have been a nice trade for 30 points. But that's okay. We'll keep looking. Got the NQ and the ES pretty much in the same, kind of in the same spots here. ES now left some unbalanced volume right there. Let's see if we can kind of narrow in. Not super clean. Not super clean here. And this red candle is what kind of kills it. No problem. I'll keep looking. Coach Clates, you're not a fan of the Patriots, I take it. You could just kind of tell the quarterback's kind of inexperience in that big moment. I mean, he's a great quarterback. He just obviously had a really, really bad game. But I mean, to make it to the Super Bowl at that young, that early in your career, that's a huge, huge stepping stone. No high impact news today. I believe there's a few Fed speakers in the early afternoon. All right, strong dump there. Possible short here on the ES. I kind of like this short here on the ES from here. All right, risking about 4 points here. Kind of like my risk up here though. At about 4 3/4 points. Just a continuation play, some trap buyers here. Show it to you here on the footprint. Right here is my entry candle, red footprint candle, positive delta. So we'll see if they've got the strength to follow through. NQ's kind of not showing me the same right now. Well, they might get the same move here on the NQ. Might actually be looking for a short on the NQ right now. Let's see how this plays out here. Kind of like this for a short here. All right, so 30 points. Got my stops in place here. So I got 2 trades right now, one on the ES and one on NQ. That's not good. Buyers coming in pretty strong there. All right, knocked me out there on both ES and NQ. I got knocked. Well, they got me pretty good there. They got me pretty good. Both signs to me look like a great short. And on the ES, I think I probably only got about 2 points of profit there. At best. Almost 3 points. Man. Really feels like a short again here. Not anymore. So pretty much same setup formed on the ES and the NQ, both at reactionary points for me, so I really kind of had to take both of them. Your order book looks pretty thin too. Maybe we kind of have to get out of this area here. Let's see if this one fails here, then I'm gonna ignore this zone from here. So I think this is already just kind of recycling volume too much. I'll let it catch me once, but not twice. Fuck, let's get out of this place here. Need to see delta increase pretty strongly for me to have any conviction here. And I'm not seeing it really on any bar. I gotta wait for a new untested area here. One second, guys. Not really seeing any increase. At 92 is the strongest delta I've seen. So not super interested here yet. They did a great job of balancing the shit out of this area. Let's see if this negative delta increases here. It is. All right, that's kind of a positive sign. Let's see if they can go through here or not. Probably take a continuation long here. A continuation short, I'm sorry. Negative delta is still increasing. This is a tough area. Tough spot here. Order book is super thin, man. I mean, super thin. It's not going to take much volume right now to move the market. Is nobody interested here? No buyers, no sellers. I don't know why the market's snoozing here. Oh, the ES gave us a decent play there. I didn't see that one. All right, now Now we're getting the positive. Now we're getting positive delta coming in finally on that move. That's a tough one to read right there. But that would have been two setups. The first setup I missed, the second setup I missed, and the setup I took short was obviously a nasty loser, but that would have been a setup right there. I just didn't really feel very confident on that zone anymore. So market pretty much showed the same play on the NQ to the ES, same exact play. Both would have worked out really nice. Obviously, I ended up taking the wrong one, but that line you see on the footprint's just the initial balance, the pre-initial balance. It hasn't been set yet. Sorry, I had my other mic muted. Sorry about that. ES still has it tapped into to that band up there at the 69.64. And Q's right at the doorstep here. Morning, AP. Gold's not doing much. All right, about 20 minutes for initial balance to be set. Well, buyers are trying. I'll give them that much. You can see all of the negative delta on this bar right here, 303, right on the top of that reactionary band. I just can't go long into something like this. But I will look at this area very, very closely. All right, that was a better tap into the band. A lot of positive delta coming in. Okay, looking at this area very closely. ES just about to approach it right now. On the NQ here. I think I'd rather prefer the ES to tap into this band. I could kind of make a decision here on the NQ as well. All right, ES tapped in. Looking for a possible short here. Buyers looks very strong. All right, looking for a short here. A lot of negative delta. Let's see if they, if the buyers could push through here, we actually could have a continuation trade to the upside. This looks like a long here. I'm going to try a long here. About 4 points of risk here. Target's at the 6970.50. Stop is at the 6962.50. NQ kind of gave me the same setup to go long there too. But already being down 2R, I think I'm just going to play out the ES trade here. It's going to see some resistance right at the 70s. So I might drop my target just 2 ticks to the downside here. Right at the 6970 flat. NQ would have been a nice 30-point winner. All right, just tapped in right there. Oof. Missed my stop there by, I missed my target there by less than a tick. There you go. Pretty much saw the same trade on the NQ as well, but this one was a little bit cleaner. So got in on this continuation trade to the upside. You can see how much negative delta we had, 121 negative delta, green footprint candle, right in my reaction band. Took that one to the long side for 3.5 points. I think it was the right target, to be honest with you. I know that I probably left two ticks there, but I don't... yeah, I would have probably gotten my two... I would have gotten my 2 extra ticks, but I'm okay with that. And what I mean by the NQ, so the ES gave me a very clean setup. Right in my reactionary band, I got my continuation model to the upside where I get negative delta, positive footprint candle. And you can see that it was a lot of negative delta. So that just trapped the shit out of the sellers, which the sellers were here. But on the NQ, it was a little bit not as clean because this was your continuation play right here. The negative 16 green footprint. And then you start to see the delta. This is what kind of gave me added confirmation on the ES trade because the delta increased so high to positive 324. But I would not have taken this trade being underneath the band. I don't want to take a long into the band. I would rather see this continuation model in this band or some part of the footprint touching in this band. The ES played out much cleaner in my opinion. And I'm actually very happy that I did not, I didn't get too greedy there because maybe those extra 2 ticks would have costed me. And I was just looking on Bookmap order book. You saw the 6970s were pretty stacked. Now this is also kind of setting up here for another continuation to the upside, which I might take here. Put my stop right down here. Let's see if they got the legs here. Okay with the retest here, but we'll see. Hopefully I didn't give up my 3.5 points that I just made, but same play. So I tried there. Saw the same continuation model, and the order book looks pretty thin right now, so this could definitely still rip to the upside. I actually haven't seen order book that be this thin a very long time. All right, let's update the trade results here. So now it's 1 winner, 3 losers. Don't like that, but following the rules here. All right, down about 2 R for the day, so I still have a few bullets left in me. We'll see what That's kind of interesting there on the NQ. I don't think this bar is going to close with positive delta. Otherwise, it would be a short for me here. No, we're already in the negative delta zone. So in this instance, they trapped me. I'm always trying to look for trapped buyers or sellers, but in this instance, they got me pretty good. That's okay. We'll get them. Got about 4 minutes here for IB to be set. Gold's not showing me anything of interest. Be right back. Kind of sloppy price action here. A little tough to read right now. Kind of a typical Monday here. Gold has really got nothing. Gold's just stayed right here. We're all kind of consolidating there. A lot of positive delta there. All right, this could be a continuation long here. I'd like to see the negative delta stay there, but it's not going to. I think the buyers are just might be too strong right here. 75s looks like a target that they could be going after. Let's see if they give me some kind of entry here. Let's take a look at the NQ. Man, that was a good play. That was probably a decent. I would love the NQ to finish green here. Continue that negative delta. Come on, push it here. Push it here, NQ. We've got some great targets to the top side. It's not gonna do it, is it? That's what it looks like right now in the chart here. I think it's getting prepped here for another run. Would love this candle to close green here quickly. 30-point ATM is what I've got set right now. Come on. I think these right up here. Shit. Oh, they just flipped it to positive delta. 90s looks like a great target. They're not going to give me an entry here. Look at the ES. Look at this move to the top side here, right to the 69.75s. That was my original target on my previous long. Wow, they're blowing through this. So they trapped me here pretty good. just to make the move that was coming. A little early on that move. Oh man, I got nothing to do here. Nothing to do. Alright, so gold finally moved out of its shell. Pulled out a nice impulsive move there from the 56.4. We'll see how it reacts here. Active trade is off. Oh, that was a bummer. It's the tough part of trading. You could be right, and just a little bit timing not perfect. Morgan, right now I'm on the 120. These are all slightly larger targets. I'm looking for 30 points here on the NQ on these moves. On the ES, I'm at a 12. And right now, I'm not going anything under 30. The IB at today, 254. 254. Whoa. Something just happened. Not sure what the hell happened there. All right, looking for a possible long here too. Let's just go to the main trade screen. Let's see if we get some support here at the IB. Let's see how this IB... this market wants the 290s. That I feel pretty confident in. Yeah, that candle's a 76. Let's do a 15-point scalp here. Right to the high of that candle. All right, risking 15 here. Got about 26 on the TP. We're going to probably see a little bit of resistance right here, but we'll see. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So the 15-point target was pretty safe, right at the 75s. But let's see if we can get this little added push here to the 290s. All right, there's the first, there's the rejection. Now let's see if we get the push. I would have had my first TP there at the 15. Sometimes that's what happens when you get a little greedy, but Let's see if we can get the full TP here. Come on, buyers. All right, now, where did they put this? So now the 80s have got a little bit of resistance. So right here at the 80s, we're going to see a little bit of resistance here. Could take a TP there. We can get up there. ETR on the 1 minute's about 18 points. 15, we're at about 42, so decent. Decent. All right. See if we get a strong push here. Right to the 80s where I said. Now we need them to push through. Come on, push through. Take it. Take it, buddy. So close. Let's go. Let's go. Push. 20 points. Okay, I'm out. I'm out. I think that was probably 25 points. And it hit right to TP. 24 points. All right. Decent trade. Decent trade. All seen on order book. Nice little rejection off of IB. So I'll show you guys the game plan on this one. So we obviously barreled through the IB. We came right back down. We got a nice confirmation here, negative 82 delta, green footprint candle. Went long, probably about 4 points higher than this one. Just wanted to make sure that the IB was giving me support, which it did. And then all I did was I just looked on Bookmap and saw the 290s were lighting up. All right, I could take off the IB from here now. IB range. Don't need you anymore, buddy. Let's take off this active trade. Let's take a look at trade results. Climbing our way back. Morning, Nate. All right, now what I'd like to see is I'd like to see what if they come back to revisit this band here at the 25229, 25229. All right, let's see. Oh, interesting. Interesting. Let's see the 5 minute. Let me just go to the 5 minute here real quick. Oh, this is pretty. This is pretty. This one, not so much. All right, let's see what we can grab here now. Let's see. That's super pretty. The best area that they left unbalanced is right here, right by this 5 minute level at the 25,113, but this looks very sweepy to me. This doesn't look like something I could put a lot of confidence in. And then this guy looks like he balanced out volume before making this move with this candle right here. This wick right here, just it's too close. Now, if we go look up here, that looks interesting. Actually, no. This looks more interesting. Right there. That a lot. So entry. TP1. TP2. Get rid of this guy. And stop loss. All right, decent little setup here on the NQ at the 25,186, targeting the 25,191. Yeah, kind of a small target there. Stretch this out just a little bit. That's the max that I can go. That's the max that I can go. And really on TP2. I mean, TP2's got a big target up here, but that's just not realistic right now. I gotta keep it there, unfortunately. 25,186 targeting the 25,192. TP2 at the 25,195. Stop at the 25,179. So about 7 points of stop, 6 points of TP1, 8 points to TP2. So kind of small in the grand scheme of things here. But at the same time, there is a much bigger target here as well, sitting right here. Right there, to 25,205. These are your pretty easy targets right there. Let's bring this down just a little bit here. Yeah, I like this a lot. I like this setup a lot. Let's see what price. Oh, and it's still going to the upside, huh? I know, small scalp here, guys, but it's what I see. The easiest one. And now we can maybe have a decision here, because let's go to the 1 minute. Let's see where this. So I'm going to say that we've got a decent area right there. Balanced out right here. This one looks a little better. All right, great little setup here. The 25,267 targeting the 25,276 and the 284 with the stop at the 25,259. Six. Okay. ES really got nothing. Nothing right now in the ES. But I do like this NQ short long here. See if we can get a little retracement here. So now for this signal here at the 25,267, I'll go down to my 30 range, which right now is my lowest range that I'm going on my footprints. And then I can adjust my ATM. Looks like almost like a 15-pointer. I have to adjust the stop loss though. Oh, wacky day of trading. Missed the first really good setup. Got trapped on the second setup. Got a great win on the ES. Then got trapped on the ES. Then took a nice winner on the NQ. Got that. 24 points. Some time. I think the first trade was on the ES. I do some journaling. My journaling has been not very good since live streaming. So that was a short setup there. That was at 8:50, so I'll say 8:30 to 9. Yes. Short. Lost. That was a reaction zone. Okay. What was my stop on there? I think it was 4 points. No, 4.75. TP was 4 points. No news. And no real mistake, just got trapped. Alright. And then I took a NQ trade right at the same time. So that should be right around here. No, that was my winner. That was right here. Same time. NQ. Short. Lost. Stop loss was 30 points, I believe. Yes, it was. TP was 30. No news. Minus 30. No mistake there. I got trapped. And then the next one was an ES trade. ES trade right here for a winner. That's at 9:30. Yes, that was a long. The winner. Stop loss was, I believe, 4 points. Targeting 3.75. No news. No news. 3.75. And then I took an immediate loser, so that I could maybe journal in as just a little too aggressive there. That was from 9 to 9:30. Yes. Another long. Lost that one. And that was... Oh, man. It's 4.5. Mistakes. No, it really wasn't a mistake. I mean, I took the setup that I liked. Let's go back and let's revisit that one. It happened around right here. Yeah, I mean, I like that setup all day long. So I'm not gonna put a mistake there. 2926. That was my MQ. Last one, which was a Butte. That was 23.75, and that was at between 9:30 and 10. NQ long 1. And that was an IB trade because that was a fade off of the IB. Stop loss was 15 points. Take profit. I think I moved it, didn't I? Yeah, at the 290s. So that would have been another 6 points. So that would have been 29 points. I think it was 28. No news. But what I actually won was 23.75. Definitely no mistake there. All right. Got all my journaling done. I'll try to do that now for every trade here. So the issue that I have been running into, why my journaling has honestly, full transparency, gotten pretty ugly, So I use Tradezilla for my journaling, which auto connects into NinjaTrader. So it takes my 2 cash accounts and puts in the trades. It's great. I love it. But what I have been doing previous to my stream was the second I would complete the trade, I would take a screenshot, a few different screenshots. I would screenshot the, you know, obviously the trade results, but also, you know, the reasons why I took the trade. So pretty simple screenshots. And then when I started implementing footprint confirmations, I would always take a picture of the footprint confirmation just to kind of see if there was anything there that can give me kind of an advantage as to what I see, which in the end has kind of helped me from these continuation plays, which is like the one I just took on the NQ. I guess more of that was more of a reversal. But anyways, the issue with Tradezilla, and most people aren't going to have this issue, but I do. So as you guys know, I've got my studio downstairs, which is connected to NinjaTrader. And I've got my previous studio slash office slash utility room upstairs. And upstairs is where I do the morning. I map out my levels on Discord live. And then I leave that computer running with all of the strategies in oil, gold, and the 15-minute Rob reversal. So that one is also connected to NinjaTrader. So NinjaTrader only allows you to have 2 instances of NinjaTrader running. And so like even if I'm on TradingView and I try to log into NinjaTrader on TradingView, if I've got those 2 instances running, it will block my it will block me from logging in through TradingView. Well, the same scenario happens with Tradezilla. So what I have found is that when I log into Tradezilla, I'm looking for my automatic trade placement in there, and it's always giving me an error. And the problem with the error is then sometimes it's what I have noticed is it will actually duplicate my trades. And it was a real pain in the sack because before I would always trade my 2 cash accounts together. So I would literally have like 4 trades and I would have to go in, delete. And I wasn't even, at that point, I was just trying to get the journaling right, not necessarily even doing the actual journaling. So I kind of gave up on the journaling while my live streams. I mean, I'm talking to you guys. I'm trying to look for setups. And the fact that the automatic syncing was not working while the 2 instances of Ninja were running, it kind of presented a problem. So I would have to rely on myself to be really thorough on after trading. So after I'm done with my signal group, after I'm done with the live trading room, I would have to then kind of go in and just from recollection, just kind of go in and see what it was. Now I will say, this new indicator from Affordable Indicators makes my life a lot easier. I really love this because it really just shows me exactly what I did, the timing. I know Ninja does it, but I think Ninja's version of it is shit. So it just got sloppy. I would say my journaling got sloppy. So, you know, I've told you guys this many times, I built with Grok a spreadsheet to track all of my funded accounts. So it's kind of like a prop firm. I don't know. So Grok wasn't able to produce the spreadsheet. He doesn't do that yet. But he gave me instructions to pretty much manually do everything, and it's 6 pages or 6 sheets. It's very, very intense. It took me about a good 4 hours and a lot of, back and forth. I would take screenshots, I would upload it back into Grok, and then he would be like, okay, this is where you're wrong. This is, we have to update this. And he makes mistakes too. It's kind of crazy. But he makes mistakes, and then you send him a screenshot. He's like, oh yeah, based on that, that formula that I gave you before is not correct. And he would correct it, and then I would have to go in and correct it. But I've gotten it to a place where I really like it. So it's, you know, every day I put in my P&L to start for that group. You guys know I've got 3 groups that I run, 1 each day. So today I'm on group 3, and I have a leader account that is an Apex eval, 300K eval on that. And the reason why I went with the 300K Apex eval was strictly for position sizing and drawdown. When I do multiple targets, and I don't want to trade off of the micro chart. I want to trade off of the NQ chart. And currently on my cash accounts, I'm not trading on the NQs or the ES. I'm trading on the micros. So the only way for me to do that is to have a leader account that's running off of the E-mini. And my solution to that whole scenario was do a leader account. So that copy trades to all of my funded accounts, which today I think there's, let's see how many accounts are running here today. Well, I could look at my P&L. Control center. So I've got one Tradeify, which is down $172 today. I've got 6 PA accounts that are all at negative $143 each. And then I've got my 2 cash accounts today that are running at $53 on each negative. So in total, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 accounts today are being copy traded. All funded. And I'm also trading my 2 Lucid evals, which were 1 trade away from passing, and now they are probably a trade and a half away from passing. So that was kind of a bummer on that first trade. I took the ES and the NQ. But that's okay. We're on a comeback trail here. But these 2 Lucid evals are not included in the P&L or the session P&L. I have a handy dandy indicator here that Michael created for me. So it just shows the 8 PA accounts. I'm sorry, the 6 PA accounts, the 6 funded accounts, and the 2 cash accounts is the only thing that shows up on my P&L. So long-winded story, but that was a spreadsheet that I had originally created to track the prop firm, grouping them, staggering them. It's really nice. It tells me my percentage that I'm up in each group, which ones are, you know, if it goes down pretty close to my drawdown or my the level to below the account. Spreadsheet already changes it from, like, you know, yellow to red. Luckily, I have none in the red. I don't actually think I have any in the yellow right now. And then what I decided to do yesterday was to create my own journal. So I've got a journal here that I could just enter in real time. I don't have to depend on the auto syncing feature of TradeZilla, which I do really like, but it just doesn't fit my trading style right now with the computer running upstairs. And I think I did a pretty good job of it. I don't know. I feel like it's not the sexiest thing in the world, but it does its job, I think. And then between me and Grok, we created some reports that currently are not working, but maybe they will work here. No, it's not showing me the results yet of my reports. So we still have a little bit of work to do on the report side. But I think it looks pretty cool. So this is what it looks like. And again, it started this pretty much today. But I grouped them in these time zones. I got the short, you know, pretty basic stuff. You know, if there's a news event that's happening, my stop loss, so it obviously picks up my risk to rewards ratios. I've got a thing for mistakes with a drop down list on just common mistakes: revenge, no clear setup, platform error, mental error, risk size error. And we'll see. And the nice thing is that at the end of the day, when I do go to Tradezilla, my trades will still be there. They'll all be automatic. But now I have a reference that I can go into and know every single trade. That's what happened, why I took it, what the setup was, things of that nature. And don't ask me to for me to share the spreadsheet just yet. Wow, you guys have been on mute this whole time. I'm so sorry. Not you two, but oh geez, you guys missed everything I was talking about. Sorry about that. What I was gonna say was, don't ask me to share the spreadsheet yet because it's still got a bunch of little things that I got to tweak. But once it's ready, I have no problem sharing it. It's on Google Sheets. Oh, you guys are gonna kill me in the Signal group. You guys were on mute for about a good 10 minutes. All right, well, I think I gave it a good run here today. I tried my best. I took every setup that, you know, my rules kind of give me to take in. And we were on the short stick here, but did battle back here towards the end of the session. Down about an R for the day, which is not bad because I think I was up about 6-7 R last week. So last week was a really, really nice day of trading. And Mondays are always tough. Tradezilla told me that about three weeks ago, that Mondays have notoriously been tough. It did happen that today was group 3 on my staggered accounts, so both of my cash accounts took about a $53 hit, which is not bad. It's easily recoverable. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream, and I will see you guys here tomorrow at the market open. Hopefully we got some better results. Take care, everyone.